All right. Good evening, everyone, and welcome again to another edition of wonderful time of Couples Connect. I'm here with my beautiful wife right there. I hope you can see her, the most beautiful woman in the world. My name is Pastor Aluma, and this is my wife, Elizabeth Aluma, and we are glad, together with the team that is leading this ministry, right here to welcome you to this edition of Couples Connect, where we seek to celebrate, inspire, and work on our marriages. Before we go so far, we want to tell you that God wants to use you to do something big and amazing to change the world. That's something we believe. That's something we believe, that your marriage, your relationship has a greater purpose than just what you know or what is there is. But we believe that everything that is in this place, in this season, God is up to this. Well, welcome again. Today we have quite an interesting discussion, a continuation of what we've been learning this season, and we will be climaxing it today. So couples and money, today a subtopic on thriving on in finances. And before we go so far, just to remind us that this is a Zoom platform. It's an online platform. It's prone to interruptions here and there. We kindly ask that you bear with us. But this will be recorded, and if that, in case something happens, we'll still be able to post. And however you got the link, we'll try to get to you as soon as possible. But we are praying that that doesn't happen and that you're able to participate. Let me also advise that you can choose to turn your camera on or off. That's still okay. If you have a question, if you have something would like to know, you'd like us to know, go ahead and chat with us. But also in our WhatsApp group, and I'll also be asking Dan to post for us that link where you may post any, if you have any anonymous or private questions, you may want to do that. There's a link now available to you. Dan, kindly help me post that link if you can. And then also, if you just keep this conversation going. But welcome. So glad to see you. We ask that you stay on mute. Please be aware that everyone is listening in. So if you're not talking, please mute yourself. If you are talking, you unmute yourself and then get back to that mute mode that we're there. So glad to have you again. This is an online platform, an online community. For many of you, we've never met physically, but I'm just loving that we can come into this space and talk about our marriages, and particularly in this very difficult season where we find ourselves grounded, and we want you to thrive. That's why we are here. And today we have quite the guests. So for those of you who are first timers here, I'm so glad to welcome you. This is a community that seeks to help young families particularly, but also senior families, learning from them to thrive. We want to create an inspiring marriage community where we have authentic conversations, we share experiences, resources, and tools. We come here to start. We come here to be authentic. We come here to be real. We come here to get those conversations going about marriage. We meet here every other Tuesday from 8 till 9:30. Now, very quickly, celebrate, inspire, and work. Celebrate. We are looking for those good things. We want to celebrate those good things. We want to charge you on that marriage is fun in the God-given path. Good to have you, Stephanie. By the way, as we do this, why don't you just go ahead and chat where you're calling in from so that we get a feel of who's here. I know there could be people as far out from Nasikia kuna watu wa Athi River. There could be people in Ruiru, Kiambu, who knows, outside Nairobi, who knows, even outside Kenya. We've had those as well. So let us know where you're checking in from. I would really be glad to know where you're coming in from. So celebrate. We hope to celebrate. We are here to celebrate marriages. We hope to inspire you. We tell stories. We challenge you. We give you thought-provoking things. And that's what this platform is about, to learn from one another and inspire one another. And lastly, I hope you have a pen, you have a paper, you have some notes, you have something that you are going to write down, because this is not just, another good program I saw. But this is engaging. And so you might want to take notes here. You might want to catch some tips that will be helpful. We may be giving some tips, some tools here and there. Good to see you, Robert Mayama, checking in from Kiambu County. Stephanie from Athi River, good to have you. My goodness, Kimutai Bet, karibu sana. Okay, Dan is my co-host. And maybe just before I get on with it, let me appreciate the team leaders that are here. I have Dan and Rachel. Dan and Rachel, who are helping with the co-leading. I don't know if Danka made it, but we also have the Kingsburys who are not able to join us today. We have Pastor Cynthia and Dawn from Mabuno. We have Pastor Chogo from Deliverance Church, and quite a number of pastors, quite a number of leaders who've come together to make this. And our desire is to bring in everyone else who has experience, who has some sort of expertise in marriage, and to bring that in this platform to get to interact as we go. Well, wow, we have Noah checking in from Nyeri. My goodness, good to have you, Noah. I hope kuna network na stima ijapotea. Eddie Helen, ninawaona, karibuni sana, karibuni sana, karibuni sana. Well, let's get going. So today we have quite an interesting topic lined up. Mike, don't say hi to the people.
Hi, how are you? Welcome. I am believing for an inspiring session, and karibuni sana.
Yes, that's her right there. That's my queen right there. Wonderful lady that God has given me. Awesome. So today we'll be talking about thriving in our financial lives in marriages. And just to start us off as a teaser, we like to get you jump started with this kind of questions. So pull a pen if you have your spouse next to you. You might just want to compare notes on this one. But how would you describe your partner's personality? They say there are about 5 personalities. The investor, the person who gets every shilling and he wants to invest for something in the future. The saver, the person who gets money and it's not to be used, it goes, hallelujah, it goes right into the account. It's never to be used. And then the big spenders, come on, talk to me, big spenders. We go big, we go quality, we go huge. We like to buy those expensive quality things. And then we have let me see who else we have here. We have the data. Oh my goodness. Sio mkesho, sio mshwari, sio kopa what, sio mkop. Unazijua zote, unajua mahali ziko. Let me ask Dan to continue admitting. All right. I'm seeing people from, good to have you, Kelly Pengo, Mary Waihenya, karibuni sana, Kirabos, karibuni sana. Yes, let's keep this going. But talk to us. What's your personality? Are you an investor, saver, big spender, debtor, or a shopper? Start chatting in there. Tell us what that discussion looks like between the two of you. Number 2, if you landed 1 million Kenya shillings right now, and I need to say Kenya shillings, sasa vile mmeona COVID millionaires and kadhalika, if you landed not a COVID millionaire type of thing, but a fair deal that you won 1 million shillings, maybe even lottery or something, what would you do with it? And I mean for you, what's that pressing? If you write it down, the one that she'll also say, yes, that's the one we want to do. So if you can do this on different papers, then we just compare a little bit here of notes. My kind of get to the homework here. Yes. All right. And then number 3, who among you would you classify as a stingy one? Now, when I mean stingy, I don't necessarily mean the bad one, but I just mean the one who likes to hold on to things. Opeani, don't give. No. We don't have enough. And then on the other hand, who is the philanthropic one, the one who gives until they're left with nothing? Sukari imeisha. Everything is gone because they give away. And then this last one, I'm very curious to hear. If your partner had hidden treasure, where do you think they would keep it? Where do you think they would invest? Where is their heart? Where do you think their secret money is at? Talk to us. Start chatting in the answers. We'd like to get a feel of your feedback here. Dan and Rachel, I'm looking for you. All right. Let me say Dan and Rachel. There you are. I'm giving you co-host. Thank you, Dan and Rachel. Asante. We have Maggie from Tena and from Roysambu. Karibuni sana. Well, let's get to it, guys. Just go ahead and briefly, because we don't have so much time. This is just a teaser of this conversation. Give us some of your takes on that. I already know number 1. Sweetheart, which one are you? Which one are you?
A saver and more of an investor.
All right. I think I'm 10-0. All right, so I am not a saver. That has it's been a struggle all my life. I don't know if I've saved. Anyway, I'm not a saver all my life, and then I'm also leaning sometimes to bad behavior like debt and a shopper. Hizo vitu tatu haziendi pamoja, but dangerously sometimes I find myself there. Ukweli, the truth. I find myself there. So go ahead. Eh? So we are a good balance. She saves, and then I spend what she has saved, quite generously for that matter. Yeah, yeah. Talk to us, people. Chat in your answers. Let's pick some few. Let's pick some few. Let's pick some few. Dan and Rachel. Dan and Rachel. I'll always pick up on you guys. Tell me, Dan and Rachel. If you landed on 1 million shillings, Dan, funga macho, si mwangalia, saizi usimwangalia. What is it that you'd spend that money on?
Okay. Anyway, I'm just laughing because of just thinking around this. But I think I am more of an investor, so I would think of investment idea that I can be able to work on.
All right.
I don't know what Rachel would say.
Rachel,
what comes into my mind is a plot.
Plot. Okay, so even if you had 1 million shillings, you will not. You will have a fight first before you even start thinking of it. Mogoda, Mogoda. There are some people. Okay, Eddie Helen, if you can hear us, Eddie Helen, please classify yourselves. Let's just hear where you are at. What's your spouse is like? We can hear you.
Okay, you can hear us, eh?
Yes.
Me and Eddie. Eddie, what do you think you are?
Come an investor.
Wanaume kuinvest. Mrembo, wewe ni shopping?
Yes.
Wewe ni shopping?
Hey, I love shopping.
Hey,
Yeah.
kiatu.
Yeah,
Kiatu na lipstick.
Kila kitu. Ukiingia mahali anakataa. Hataki kwa mfuko.
Sasa mwanaume ni kushikilia. Mwanaume kushikilia. Robert Mayama. Robert Mayama, if you're there. Robert?
Yes, I think I'll classify myself as a debt and a spender. So I'm praying to God to be a saver.
Shida tupu hapo, tuko wengi. Good to hear. Okay, I can see, let's see. Let's start with Murathes. The Murathes, are you there? Talk to us.
Yeah, Mr. Murada is in another, he's here now.
All right.
So, I think I'm more of saver personally.
Hata mimi.
Hiyo nyumba iko sawa. Na si mtusaidie nayo tuwaspendie, naona mnaogopa.
Yeah, saver spender hapo hivyo.
All right.
Yes.
All right. I saw Judy. Judy, talk to us. Let me ask Judy this question. Who among you would you say is a stingy one? All right. Judy, if you're there. All right. Let me pick on someone else. Go ahead, Judy.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Go ahead.
Okay, I think I'm a saver.
All right.
Yeah, I really like to save. And I think my partner is a big spender.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. You have said that with so much passion. We need to have a meeting with him, yeah? Mr. Spender, tuko na shida na wewe. All right. I don't know who Agatha is. Agatha, talk to us. Agatha?
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Yes, the other part of me is Martin Kiboi.
Say that again.
My better half is Martin.Kiboi.
All right. Oh, okay. I've seen Kiboi is here.
Yes, I'm here. I'm here. I'm listening.
Good. Wacha ushtakiwe.
Wacha nakubali mashtaka leo.
Go ahead.
He's a saver and I'm a shopper.
Wow.
Misha.
Nyinyi na kina Eddie Helen hapa mkipatana kuna shida. Good to have you, Kelly Pengo. Kelly Pengo, I know you guys. Wow, you look lovely by the way. That picture is looking nice. Kelly Pengo, are you here?
Yes, sir.
Good to see you, my brother. How are you?
I am doing well.
Washa kamera tuone kama ndevu imemea sana.
Ndevu iko?
Iko.
Ndio unaona?
Sawa. Na
pande kunapikwa?
Kunapikwa bado.
Unaona?
Ebu jishtaki, who is the stingy one between the two of you?
Sasa hapa hivi kuna mtu mstingy na si mimi. I am a big saver.
Kelly, a lot has changed.
My wife is a spender, a good spender.
Emily the spender. Yeah, that's new.
And she's an accountant, and she's right there. There she goes.
Well, unajua anapika. Utaekewa kitu wewe. Utaekewa kitu. All right. One last one. Let's hear from Papi. Yeah. Oh, good to see you, Dennis and Valentine. Karibuni sana. Looking good. Okay, here's a question that I want someone to answer. If your partner was to hide treasure, where do you think they would hide it? I'll tell you for free where my wife would put all our money. Bonds. In what do you call them? In investment in bonds. Nitaenda kutafuta pesa nikitafuta bonds. What else? Bonds. It's in bonds. Nimepata. Me, where do you think I would put money? It would probably be spent.
It will not be spent.
It would probably be spent. There's a big problem. Okay. Robert says money markets.
Yes.
All right. Quite a number of people there. Nani Shamba? It would be in Shamba. And you just need to look for title deed. Somewhere.
The register.
Hey. All right. I've seen. Okay. Let me see who I will talk to here. Let's see who hasn't. Okay, I've seen Stephanie. Rachel says Kamogoda. All right, Stephanie, just to get a feel.
Yes.
Talk to us. Where would you put your money? Where would you bury your treasure?
If it is a lot, I'll do a mix of shamba.
Yeah.
If it is kidogo, I can do money markets. I'm more of an investor. Saver. I look for where I can put and it can grow.
All right. I see a lot of you have been influenced by politicians. Nishamba. I have not seen anyone saying I will invest in education. Kenyans, good people. Education is good. They don't agree.
COVID.
COVID. All right. There's nowhere we are going.
Well.
Someone wants to comment?
Education for kids.
All right. Good to have you all, and thank you again. This is just a teaser of our conversation, but if you look deeply behind these questions, there are some quite some fundamental truths that you need to begin to look at if you haven't yet, but at least begin to know yourself in this way. I want to get us right into the conversation. We have quite a good team today. I'm pleased to introduce to us Sam and Agnes Kirabo. And yes, by that name and pronunciation, they're my good friends from Uganda, Kampala. but living in Kenya. Sam works with the International Center for Research on Women. My goodness, Sam, you need to tell us what you've discovered. You know, that's an encyclopedia right there. Research on women, amazing. He's also passionate about kingdom wealth creation. So passionate about money, passionate about making money for the kingdom. Agi is a certified John Maxwell coach, speaker, and trainer. Oh my goodness, some heavy profiles here. She currently serves at Mavuno Church as the Fearless Institute coordinator. And if you remember last time, we had Pastor M, the lead visionary of Mavuno, and he spoke about the Fearless Summit. And yes, Agnes here coordinates that. Both Sam and Agnes are certified, straightforward financial growth coaches. My goodness, you'll tell us what it takes to be certified as a straightforward financial growth. I believe that's a course from Uganda as well, and you'll tell us more about that. And they're also serving with Pastor M in couples and money. Thank you so much for being here. If you are there, just turn on your camera so that people can see you. And I will ask everyone else to go on speaker view so that we are able to have the Kirabos. Are they here? Kirabos, where are you? There they are. Agi?
Hi. Good evening.
Oh, wow. Good to have you.
Good to have you. Good to be here. Thanks for having us.
You are somewhat in the dark.
We are trying to find the light.
All right. Okay. We pray the light comes quickly and comes soon. There you are. There you are. Oh, my goodness, Sam. Good to see you.
Good to see you, sir.
My friend, you're growing younger every day.
Thank you. The goodness of the Lord.
I can see.
It's pointed this way.
All right. Let's get to it. Thank you so much. You guys have been married for 2 and half something years old. How is marriage? How is family? How is work so far?
I must say marriage is a beautiful thing, and it's what you make it. You either enjoy it or you're frustrated by it.
All right.
So when we were getting married, we were advised not to take certain things seriously.
Okay.
Of dirty dishes, socks thrown around, like it's never that serious. So we took the advice, and yeah, we've been living happily ever after, like not being stressed with the different things.
Is that
I think the wife is clapping for us.
Is that an excuse for don't bash me?
Some of us get there after a few years.
Or lower your expectations, my friend.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, so it's been a beautiful journey of learning to serve each other and love each other. Yeah.
All right. Great. Thanks for being here. Just kindly tell us what it takes to be a straightforward financial coach. And my goodness, John Maxwell, coach. What do you guys go through? These are
if you can put back the vision, the why of this platform.
Yeah.
It can help to describe why is straightforward financial growth. Because growing up, we never ever had such experiences, but then we realized God was calling us for more or for better things, and then we needed to grow ourselves in the different spaces. So that's how I ended up in John Maxwell space, and also ended up in the straightforward financial growth space.
Okay. You mentioned it's something like a year course or something, and you're doing online courses and stuff.
Pardon?
You mentioned it's something like a year long.
Oh, for the John Maxwell.
Yes.
It's as long as you make it.
All right.
But the period they can give you to finish everything is 1 year, because you get certified once you've paid in all the tuition. But then it's a self-paced learning space. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get started then.
For the just sorry.
Go ahead.
For the straightforward financial growth.
Yes.
You ask how you can
become certified.
So first of all you
enroll.
You get the book.
All right.
Then read. Then enroll in a mastermind. Enroll in a mastermind. So there are certain it's really practical, and read some books, and at the end of the day, it's about 8 weeks. Then at the end of the 8 weeks, you can become a certified coach if you like. Once you apply.
All right. All right, let's get to it. Thanks for explaining. I know we'll do a video here to explain, and maybe let me just start that video off, so in case where is this screen, so that people get a feel of what we'll be talking about today and some of the principles that you will be sharing about from this straightforward. So if you can all see my screen.
Hi, my name is Moses Mkisa, and so glad to be sharing with you guys about some critical things. I authored a book, Straightforward Financial Growth, which is right here. And today we'll be talking about some of the issues in this book, because in this season especially, it has proven to everyone that money is an important aspect of our lives. And it's those who are not being realistic or wise who say money is not important, because money is important. Because we spend our days waking up early, going to bed late, because we are trying to make things, work financially. And now in this lockdown season, when systems are shut down and things are not going as you expect them, it is important for us, I believe, to know the laws, the fundamentals that govern finance. So in this book, so I'll tell you about this book first. If you need this book, you just call the number 0783 547 193, 0783 547 193, and it will be delivered to you, because now we know you can't go to the bookstores. After the bookstores are open, you can get it in Aristoc and all the other leading bookstores. So in this book, we talk about 5 fundamentals, which I believe that anyone who practices these 5 fundamentals is going to win the financial battle. And the 5 things we say you should do: 1, acquire financial knowledge. Acquire financial knowledge. There's a difference between general knowledge, what you learned in at university, secondary school, Mansa Musa, Dahomey, Saskatchewan, name it, and financial knowledge. Now, most people, they are deceived into thinking that because they have a degree or they know something about history, chemistry, or whatever, that they know how money works. It doesn't work like that. So the first thing you need to do is acquire financial knowledge. Second is you work hard and smart. Work hard and smart. Money is a reward for solving problems. Entrepreneurs are people who solve problems for profit. So the more problems you solve, the more money you make. Both the butcher and the surgeon deal with meat, but they are compensated differently. The law of income, according to T.F. Ecker, says that you shall be compensated according to the value that you bring to the market. So what value are you bringing to the market? Even in this COVID season, what value are you bringing to the market? Whatever value you bring to the market, that's how you'll be compensated. So work hard and smart. Point 3 is manage your money. T.F. Ecker says that rich people manage their money well, poor people mismanage their money. This season has proven more than before what the value of money management is. The people who are managing their money well have been able to go through this season well. The people who mismanage their money, and their whole interpretation of income is you get it and eat it, and now when you get into a season where you're not able to get it because you're locked down at home, then you suffer. So point 3 is you manage your money. Point 4 is you make wise investments. It's not enough to just have money, you must invest it. And when you invest it in a way that it creates cash flow. Good assets are assets that produce cash flow. Bad assets are assets that don't produce cash flow, and they're just lying around. Those are not good assets. So you make wise investments, and then lastly, you live generously. The whole point of it all is generosity, because realistically, you only need so much to survive. But we are not called into survival mode. We are called to be a blessing. That's why you and I need to have a lot of wealth so that we can help a lot of people. So the 5 things are those: acquire knowledge, work hard and smart, manage your money, make wise investments, live generously. We break it down into 5 words: believe, work, manage, invest, give. Believe, work, manage, invest, give.
All right. All right. So that's just a sneak preview to Straightforward Financial Growth by the founder of and the author himself, Pastor Moses Mukisa from Worship Harvest, the visionary leader of Worship Harvest Ministries in Uganda. And very privileged that, yes, we have that kind of partnership and that kind of resource to address us today. So, how would you describe a financially thriving marriage? And go ahead to just tell us why you guys are really passionate about this subject. Very quickly, let's just get into it.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, thank you very much. So this is my computer.
All right.
So if you see me looking down, I just wrote some guiding notes. So yeah,
That's
for me
okay.
to yeah. So when I'm looking down, don't worry about that. Yeah. So yes, thank you very much for giving us this opportunity to share with you what we know at this point. We are still in the process of learning. We think we are on the journey. We haven't reached there yet. We are still on the journey, like most of us on the call, and we are passionate about sharing what we know. We don't usually like sitting on the knowledge we have. So one of the ways to actually get to know put it in practice is first of all sharing with other people, going through experiences. That's why we run a straightforward financial growth mastermind. We started one last Saturday. We're going to have one on Friday. So yeah, so sharing what we know, and even as we share what we know, we keep practicing what we are sharing. So yeah, so that's what that's the journey we are on.
Right.
That's why we're wealth and money. I'm going to. I was asking my wife.
Breaking.
Is everyone? Sorry.
Your internet is a bit nini, but it's okay now. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. So I was asking my wife if everyone on the group is saved or knows Jesus or knows God. Just in case, we use, you use Christianese,
just
remove some
normal.
scripture for guidance or something like that. But anyway,
just speak normally.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. So, yeah. So the power to make it. I think it's Deuteronomy 8:18. For power to make wealth that he may establish his covenant. God doesn't give us wealth. He gives us power to make the wealth. It's when I think about it, it's like an instruction kind of. If you sit down and analyze, so which means we are supposed to be. I did missed out so many things. 9 years or more, and after the end of 9 years, there's nothing to show about for what I've been working for, and I'm like, wow, this is interesting and this is serious. I need to get my act together. So yeah, and finding out that actually God wants me wealthy, so that he may establish his covenant. He knew, you said to Abraham, he knew all the nations of the world shall be blessed. I mean, I'm supposed to be a blessing. So which means if I'm not a blessing, I am not fulfilling what what the Bible is telling me I should be fulfilling. So yeah, so that's where it becomes starts from God giving an instruction as to why I should be able to make wealth. I should be wealthy. The kingdom needs to advance. I need to be a blessing. I need to be a blessing to all nations, not only my neighbor, as in nations. I need to lend to nations. I need to lend to nations. Those outside countries, they give us donations. Now they need to come to us here, and we give them donations.
We give them donations.
Yes. So that's so that's the thing. The instruction is there. So that's why we are passionate, and also to share with people. So, and friends, family, and I mean, poverty is not good. I mean, some of us have tried it. We lived it. It's not fancy. It's not funny. I mean, if you want to see poverty, I think we are talking about it with my wife today earlier. I mean, go to my village, you will see poverty.
On a kind of meal that is being served on the plate.
I mean, you see poverty. As in, it's not fancy. So I mean, why not? Yeah. So that's one of the things. So you asked about how does describe a thriving marriage, right?
Yeah. How would you describe a thriving marriage? Financially thriving marriage.
Financially thriving marriage. Oh, yes. Yeah. My wife will answer us, and I'll also try to attempt after she does.
I think going back to the first question, why are we passionate about money? Like for me, growing up from poverty, and you see so many people in need, and you're not able to help them, but you have compassion, like, oh, I wish someone would see this person and help them. And the scripture that Sam read of God has given us the capacity to make wealth, like we have whatever it takes to make the wealth and have the money so that we are able to help as many people as possible. So for me, because of the need out there, I am one of the solutions that God wants to use to solve those problems around me and help people around. So wealth creation, I can't help them without money. Money is needed, is like a medium of exchange for everything. Yeah. So for me, that thing of making sure at least every one of us is able to help someone out there to live a better life. The other question about how would a financially thriving marriage look like people who are able to build an inheritance for their great-grandchildren, like not looking at me, myself, and I, do we have food for dinner? Oh yes, tick. We are happy, but people that are building for the generations that are coming up after them, this is not really their concern right now. Their concern is the people that are coming after them. Then as they're building to that future, they're sharing generously whatever they have and whatever they've made with the people in need. So that is not just them alone enjoying the goodness of the Lord here in the land of the living, but many people are getting to experience the goodness of the Lord here in the land of the living through them. And many times we're not able to enable people or express that thing to enjoy God's goodness, because they're just simple things. Like if I'm to share an example, this year, of course, you had I work in a church. So there was this, one of the counseling cases that came up, and someone was contemplating suicide. And why did they want to kill themselves and their babies? It's because they didn't have food and they didn't have a roof over their heads. They're like, this life is not good enough to live. Why don't I just die? The husband had, boyfriend, because he had another wife or something. He had abandoned them and moved on. So as I went to pray for the person, I realized this person does not really need my prayers. They need a solution for this thing. So at the beginning of the year, also God had blessed us with a rent-free house. And everyone was expecting us to move into it. So I just told the lady, there is this house, move in. She couldn't believe it.
Wait,
and
did you say you gave someone a rent-free house?
Yes.
You give. Moving on swiftly. Mhm.
Heaven on earth through us.
All right, awesome.
Yeah.
That's quite powerful. Allow me to just kind of pick up our pace a bit because of time. So tell us, Pastor Moses speaks of these 5 things: believe, work, manage, invest, and give, as we've just seen in that clip. But where do you find the most challenges, especially when you are counseling people? What's the one thing that couples are struggling with in terms of thriving in their finances?
I'll go again to what I was building on, being generous and giving. Like many times we are looking at us, what's my need? You know, the eye is just starting, everyone is looking for rent, everyone is trying to find a place to stay and, be able to cover their family. But many times I was questioned, like, how could you give away that house? You mean you're so rich, like you can't move into that house and you just gave it away? Like, giving is such a hard thing because probably we've grown up knowing we need to just take care of us and my family. If we are okay and everyone is good, we are perfect. Yet looking outside could also be another way to look at life. My husband could also talk about the other thing.
No, do you have another house you could give me?
So so believe, work, manage, invest, and give, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're talking about that, and we're like, where exactly is the challenge? I think the short version I gave you of my story, I worked for about 9 years and more, and at the end, finished university, got volunteer somewhere at the church, finished. Then someone called me into some work. Then I joined the church, then worked for about 9 years. I'm being paid salary every month. And at the end of 9 years, I didn't have anything to show for the 9 years I've been working. I was still renting, I was still, driving a car, which probably wasn't mine. I was just given, paying rent, power, utility bills, and all that. There was nothing to show that, like, if something to show that this is mine, as in I've been working on this year. So that takes me to, yes, I've been being paid, which means I'm working, right? Yes. So that issue was managing the money,
what you're being paid,
what I've been paid, what I'm being given. And I think I was sharing the story as the preambles, as we are sharing, everyone here was sharing on the group. And some people invest. This one spends a lot. For me, I am a spender. I mean, I like gadgets. I like buying things.
Good stuff.
And I don't just buy. When I go the whole 9 years. I buy.
So you properly buy.
Yeah, I properly buy, because I know when I buy, it's going to take 5 years. So without.
You should be my relative.
Yeah, but management is very key. Is very, very key. I think it's where usually we have challenges with work. We can get work. I mean, yes, work we can. Knowledge, financial knowledge, we can get financial knowledge. When it comes to managing the money, that is where the tricky part is. That is where the challenge is. So so that I think is, when you think about it in detail, I think that's mostly the issue we usually have.
All right. So we will get to the bits of what would you advise, but so you're really saying that if I'm content with just paying my bills, surviving to the end of the month, I'm able to afford a few luxuries here and there, that I'm living dangerously. And if I don't manage my money, how dangerous is that? and maybe what are some tips that you can give there? And you seem to also say just increasing wealth is actually an important thing. So talk to us about that, please. How dangerous is it when you're just simply managing end to end, like the way you've described?
I think we can start by looking at the fact that if each one of us is paid a monthly salary, we are actually courier companies. Our bosses are paying us to pay the different service providers that are taking care of their employees so that their work can continue multiplying or as they continue earning money. So we get paid a month's salary, you go pay your rent, you pay your transport or buy fuel, you buy food, you pay electricity, water, and many times we call even that budgeting, like here, this month money is coming, but we are budgeting it from the end of what are we going to spend on. But we're not even thinking about the part of investment. And by the time you've done the budget for the month, what you're spending or who you need to pay, you realize there is nothing left for you. Then you're like, there was this thing I wanted to do for myself. Then probably you'll either borrow that money so that you do that thing for yourself, or, ask for a salary advance to take care of the extra need. Yet if we work backwards, I think one of the books that we listened to, one of the authors said, the only person that is responsible for how much we earn is ourselves, not our employees, of us going back and asking for salary raises, because for them, they're paying us according to what value they think we are bringing to them. But if I am able to see my value and then multiply my value and earn more than what I earn for a salary, then I'm able to live sustainably. Like my needs will be taken care of, my people will be taken care of, and also other people in need will be taken care of. So that said, if you're earning your salary, if you're looking at it right now, that figure that you earn, how much money do you spend paying other people? If you're to calculate how much money do you spend on rent, all those things that you pay for, and what is remaining, many times we end up finding ourselves in negatives. And then Mose calls it modern day slavery. Like our employers are taking care of us so that we are able to continue making money for them. But as we increase our knowledge and as we read about the different things that we're able to do, many of us have different ideas, different dreams, and those dreams and ideas are able to bring money into our pockets. The only thing for us to do is to think and multiply that specific space and make it an income stream. I'll give an example. I do many things. Of course, I'm a Mavuno employee as a Fearless Institute coordinator, but besides that, I do admin for Couples and Money. I do admin if Mose is doing straightforward financial growth classes in Nairobi. I do that. Then when we are having the Fearless Summit, usually I help get people Airbnb spaces to stay. Right. At first, because I'm passionate about helping people, I used to do it for free. Like I need to ease in the job of whoever, like serving is our thing. But then one day Mose tells me, Aggie, you possess knowledge of knowing where the houses are. The owner doesn't know these potential clients. You know the clients and you know the houses. That connection that you're giving them, you need to be paid for it. So I added it on my income streams. Remember, I'm still a Mavuno Church employee. I'm still helping with Couples and Money. I'm also still doing straightforward financial growth. That aside, I'm passionate about relationships. I'm like, so how can I be able to add value to other couples or dating people? So I also created like a time after my work time, like I can do a coaching class, 10 weeks for these people, then earn money from it. What am I trying to say? There are different things that we are passionate about that can be used as income streams. Like you don't even have to look outside of yourself or look for a different job altogether, but using what you have in your hand to create the extra income you need so that you're no longer living in the negatives, you're actually living over and above.
Let me speak for pastors like myself here. And I don't know if there are others here, but what would you say to that value? And just riding on that question, what would you say to those who believe that, you know, you're the pastor, you need to just put out things out there for free? You know, you come up with a good training, it just needs to be for free, and yeah, you put your best to work it out, but just put it out there so that anyone can consume it. You're working for God. God will reward you. Bless your kind of sister, brother. You'll be fine. How do you say
Hallelujah,
that?
praise the Lord.
Oh my goodness.
So for the pastor, I'm just wondering, the Bible, which kind of Bible? Wait, why? You know, Paul worked. Paul was
pitched tents.
Eh?
Yes.
Paul worked. Jesus was a carpenter. He worked. You know, do you know why he even had Judas Iscariot having? They had money. Having I mean, Paul, who wrote, you know, all those episodes, was in worked. God has given us the ability to and if he says he gives us the power to make wealth that he may establish, how are you going to be a blessing? And you know, sometimes actually we Christians run away from the thing of making money, a lot of money, because, you know, like how would I be seen, you know, and all that. And that's where probably it comes from, you know, our mentality. So, you know, is from that, you know, that background, having a lot of money because I'm a Christian. So how will people look at me and stuff like that? But you see, if you are giving free, you know, you are giving free things. I'm trying to ride on that thing of living dangerously, and at you get to 70 years, and because actually what we like with the African, that like when in our, you know, our country in Uganda, you know, the mentality is that your children are your backup plan. When you get old, they're the ones who are going to like take care of you. So as in, so your retirement plan is the children, which is actually not the thing. Is a proverb: a good man leaves an inheritance for his children's children. How are you going to create that inheritance if you are preaching for free, giving or whatever it is? Then what happens?
Yeah. The other thing I think also us as pastors, because we served in church and I still serve in church. But for many years, I think our eyes have been blinded on what value do we really have. Because for a long time, all I knew is for me as a pastor is to pray for people and trust God to hand out. Having done Discovery, for those of you, it's an internship program also. I know some other churches also do internship programs for pastors in training, quote unquote. We are usually trained to fundraise money, like as a missionary, as a person serving in church. God has prepared people out there to take care of you as you serve him. But then we forget the other part. If God has prepared those people, why did he give you the gifts and the talents you have? Because if you didn't have those gifts and you are a prayer warrior, he would have just made you a prayer warrior and that's it. But how come you're such a good marriage counselor? How come you're such a good cook? How come you're such a good coach? Like when you sit down with someone and you're able to explain the different things, like, oh, Pasi, Asante, I never saw that way. Like you're helping them solve a problem. But many times we don't see the value we ourselves have and what we can bring to the table. We've settled for, I am the pastor. So it's one of the things I'm passionate about, and one of the reasons why I joined the John Maxwell team. Because many times I think we downplay ourselves, yet our potential is beyond the Sunday service. Like God is calling us to serve our people more than what we are giving them now.
Let me get to some management issues, and I'll probably startle my wife a little bit here, and probably Richie and Vero, while you're there, I'd also like to hear your opinion. You guys are well into this. Tell me, is it possible, and would you advocate for a joint account for a couple, and that you all operate from one account? Is that even safe? Richie and Vero. Let me first hear from Richie and Vero. Richie and Vero, you guys have been in this game for long. Do you guys operate one single account? Ama leo nitaharibu boma. Good to see you. All right, I see the mute is coming. Oh, you're still on mute. Okay, sweet. Tell them. How would you advocate for it?
I think joint or separate accounts. I think for me the key idea is the honesty.
Okay.
Okay.
It's okay. No?
I think for me the main idea is the honesty and integrity in the either it's joint or separate. We can have a joint account. We know the balances. We can have separate accounts, and I still have access to your account. So for me, I'm open to either, as long as both parties are honest and open in terms of their finances and their management.
That's what we have, and that's why I spend and she saves. All right, Richie and Vera, I see you guys are on. Tell us, is it one account ama ziko mifuko kadhaa?
Okay, well, each of us operate individual accounts, but we have access. I do have access for Richard's account. He do have access for my account.
PIN number, ATM card PIN number, and all the details.
Yes.
Okay, Richie, this is more of a manly question. When was the last time you dug into that other account? You know, when things go a little, you know when you need a few things and you don't want to beat around the bush.
Actually, Pasi, today in the morning, it has happened that today I wanted to access some money to do something and I was broke. So
stop there. Stop there. Don't finish that story. You're embarrassing the men here.
So and some work had stuck somewhere since last week. So I had to go into accounts and access and process everything with no problem.
Okay.
But the main thing, what I'll say is about honest and to be open to each other. Even because at the time of budgeting, when you're doing all together, the other hand knows what you're doing. That one helps so much.
All right. Well, we are getting right to it. So Kirabos, talk to us about now the management so that you don't find yourselves here, whether it's in this account or that account. Talk to us about those percentages. How do you go about, working from either two incomes or one income for that matter, and then just bringing this into what you call safe budgets or safe percentages?
Thank you. You know, the thing of this thing always makes me smile. Anyway, I'm very careful, with, especially answering such a, trying to answer such, a question really, because there are some people who are really so passionate about you have to have one account. Otherwise,
I'm an advocate for one account.
Like, no, we're not moving anywhere until it is one account. It's like, then there are those ones who are like, no, you have your account, I have my account. That is it. As in, you have money? Yes. Do you have money that side? Yes. Okay, bring money that side. I need money from that side. As in, so they run. So, so people have different things that work for them. So for me, the thing is, what is working for you? As long as as in, she talked about honesty. Yes, trust. Trust is so important that, this thing really, marriage is giving. Really, it's really, if you think about it, it's really giving, being generous. So if even when you have different accounts, I mean, husband, give money to your wife for nothing, not for shopping, not for just, this is money for you, even though it's coming from the same account.
Okay.
Yes, yeah, this is for you to do your whatever girly things. Well, I don't know what it is. Go and hang out, with your friends, not for shopping, buying tomatoes. No. That is for you to. If you have separate accounts, get money from your account, give her. As in, this thing is for giving. So the thing that remains always has to remain constant, and has remained constant for us is trust. I have an account. Unfortunately, it's in Uganda. She has an account here. So that takes me to that thing of management. What you are saying and how you manage. The important, when you come down to get the right thing, the important thing is getting those percentage you talked about, managing your money before it even shows up.
Okay. So have the percentages before.
So you have to you have to plan for your money. We plan for the money before it shows up, before it comes. So that's where the percentages come in. But that depends on how much you're getting. The percentage is up to you. You get the percentage. There are some like for all of us who are here, there's one, okay, maybe two, but let me say one which is not negotiable. Okay, yeah, and we all know that one, and that is the tithe. That one is, yes, that one is not negotiable. Okay, well, maybe, but for us in our house, that one we don't negotiate about it. So it is the 10% that goes back to God. It's giving back to God. So it's, then we have the 10% which is for giving account, to give to weddings, relatives.
Wait, did you say you have a budget percentage for giving?
Yeah. Yes. So we have. So what we use is the 10% for tithe, 10% for giving. Then we use the 20% for saving,
for investment.
For investment, not for a rainy, not for a rainy day. No, it's for investment. Then we use the other one.
Pledges.
Yeah. Then we use the other one. Yes.
Then 50% is used.
So we use the 50%. Then if we have any pledges, we put the 10%. So yeah. So this we
wait. So out of 100%, you literally take home 50%.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, you're just saying yes like that.
Yeah, because we started when we got this information. You know, I told you my story. 9 years, nothing, because that system wasn't there. When I we got to learn about this knowledge. Like, oh, we can manage our money like this. Oh, okay. So we put the money in a system.
Okay.
You put the money in a system. Whatever amount that comes, 10% is going off for tithe. That goes back to God. You give me 1,000 Kenyan shillings right now. We both know that before we even remove transport, before we even remove transport or anything, we first tithe. As in, it is so. We believe in it so much because we always have to give back to God, because He's giving us. He has given us this power to make wealth, so we have to give back to Him. So yeah, that's a way of giving back. So 10% tithe, 10% giving account. We can't live giving. Out to ourselves. We have friends, we have relatives, we have people around us. We give some money, wedding meetings, birthdays, do you what? So yeah. Then the 20%, one of the main things is for saving, for investment. Then the 10, if we have any pledges, then the 50.
Yeah. All right. Let me say to us listening, don't be passive about this. Let's participate in the discussion here. If you have any questions, if what they're saying is sounding too out of this world, talk to us. Let's know what your reactions are from what you're hearing. but they have proposed some percentages there that will be helpful for you to plan. I like the idea that you put money into a system. It's not just basically meeting, needs without having a plan. And this is what Sam is proposing here. 10% tithing, 10% giving. My goodness, I like the way you have even planned that we will give on this one. So the idea of joint account is not necessarily, it's not a one-way thing, but you've said one that works for you. I like that principle as well. One that works for you. All right.
And also the other thing that works for us, because we know the amount of money we are expecting at the end of the month.
Okay.
Again, we subject it into the percentages. So even if he gets money and I don't know about it, he will tithe, he will save, he will give. Then whatever is left, he will let me know, like, here, I've done A, B, C, D, E, this is the money.
That's where the trust comes in.
All right. All right.
Yes.
I see that. So like the money she spends on her hair, chips on the side. I was with a couple of friends and I decided to buy lunch. I mean, do you give an account to all that?
Yes, it's part of the 50%.
It's
part of the 50%, that's where the rent is where the personal expenses are. So each one of us has, pardon?
So with personal, you say you take this much, I take this much, and
sometimes he even adds me. Like, for you, you need more.
For husbands, this one is a trick. I'm also learning.
Yeah.
When you get, as in, give money to your wife for hanging out like nothing.
No, Bwana, talk slowly, Bwana. This thing of just giving money. I've seen Harriet here so excited about men just give money. Judy is asking, what is the difference between giving and pledging? You've mentioned something like that.
Yes.
Harriet, I've seen you. You just want to be given money.
Yeah.
Just give them.
Giving is giving.
Hallelujah. This is where you say,
giving.
Tukutendeleza, iko poa.
Giving and pledging. Talk to us.
Giving is giving money to anyone, like your parents, the people in need. Pledging, like at Worship Harvest, let's say there is the building project, the Worship Harvest Nalia. So we pledged a certain percentage of that. So we give towards it. But then also that 10% could also, in case you have a debt that you're paying, you could say 10% per month goes towards debt payment. Then you have conversations with your debtors and tell them every month, expect this amount of money from me. Because you don't want to give away everything you've earned to pay off the debt. Then you've finished paying the debt, but then there is nothing that you're going to live on. So that's how that percentage works. But you can also either increase it or reduce it depending on what you earn and what you're playing with. Yeah.
Actually, pledging is at the end of the day you are giving. At the end of the day, you are pledging to give. It's just that you're going to take, you have a plan to fulfill the pledge. But actually it's also
all right. Let me just add on a couple of things that I think. Give me a Mrs. book there. For those of you who don't know, if you ever get there are quite a number of tools, but our budget first came. I think I mentioned this last time. There's a budget template in this book for Mizizi, if you all remember that. And why I'm showing you this is because we kind of just developed ours from this particular budget. And it's very simple. Where is this budget? It's very simple. Anyone can do it. So please look for it. The budget up here. Oh yes, I can see. Yes. So on this page, they've put quite I like that. So there is the income, then there is the tithe, savings, debt repayments, living costs, and then long-term costs and other investment costs. Now, why I'm showing you this is because when we first started, it's just a table like that. I remember part of our dating was we talked about money and we came up with what we call a joint budget that we have stuck with for now almost 10 something plus years. and just those components have fallen quite in place. If you'd like a template, I can send it to you or send a link, but I will clean up the figures. But it has her income, my income, and then we decided we are giving jointly. So it's not you and that, although sometimes we say from this account and from that account, but we know the sum total is this much. But something that I wanted to add here was also rewarding yourselves. I don't know if you guys talk about rewarding yourselves, but you know those holidays that you dream of going for? You know those, my wife has this principle that if we work so hard, if we, in a sense, do well, we will earn a holiday. And that's been an incentive for me. So we haven't gone for holiday.
It's no holiday this year.
For some time, because yeah, you know, those kind of things are there. But what are your advice? What's your advice on this?
Yeah, I think having a budget is very important as a couple. It will help resolve any conflict. It will help resolve any misunderstandings on your money, my money, how you are spending, and it also helps as a family to speak in one voice. In that, if I was to give, he would not wonder how can I give all that money to that one person. He knows it's part of the budget and we can give this much. And it actually does help. You see, like he wants to spend, he wants to go on holiday. With a budget, you plan, you'll go on holiday this month to the end of the year. So I won't have to tell him why he can't go on holiday the whole year, January, February, March. He knows the holiday is budgeted for November, and you can only go in November if you have saved this amount of money, and that's why you're saving every month for it. So I realized the budget really does help in a family to just, have a sense of understanding and speaking in one voice.
All right. I'm seeing some requests for the template. Dan, can you help me take those emails? If you again, just post your email address there, then we can be able to send it to you. Or alternatively, you can join our WhatsApp group where it will be collectively be put there. But let's get to the closing of this session. We are, I think, 10 minutes into our closing time. Let's talk about generosity. You speak of it so flamboyantly. You call it giving as kings and not as paupers. Please explain that to us. And how do you even come to that place where you give so generously like that?
I think one of the things is knowing that for God so loved the world that he gave, and he gave his most treasured gift or possession to us so that we are redeemed. So even as we think about, my husband is the more generous person. For him, idea comes, let's do this. For me, I'm the planning, budgeting. We need to create this thing and get to this point. But that aside, knowing that God gave this much to redeem a life like me, how much more can I be able to give and be thankful? And many times we tend as human beings to give towards that standard of the person we are giving. Let's say you're walking and you're passing by a beggar and they're asking for food and you have a coin. You're like, yeah, this person deserves a coin. Let me hand it out. Yet actually your capacity or your, what is that word? Your potential, you're able to give like a 10,000 shilling to redeem the person and even change their world around. But because you're thinking to the standard of the person you're giving to, so then you give according to their standard. But if you're giving to the standard of the king who gives generously and over and above, then you're able to give according to your personal standard, not what the person you're giving to is setting.
Wow, that is just so profound. So you just say, don't give according to the standard of this beggar, but give as though you, in a sense, you are the one giving yourself in a need like that.
The whole point of making wealth, the whole point of you going to work, the whole point, if you sit down and think about it, is for you to be a blessing That's where it comes from.
Right.
That's where she started with John 3:16. For God so loved the world. How did God love the world?
He gave.
Then it continues to say, He
His one
gave. There's a very close relationship between love and giving. That's why I was talking about passionately about the husbands here to give money just to your wives.
Oh, hallelujah. That point is just going home today.
Yeah, so that's where it comes from.
All
It comes from being a blessing. I can't live for myself. There is no satisfaction in that. Have you ever gone out there and and helped someone, and somehow their life changed just because of 1,000 Kenyan shillings? Their life changed. Probably they went and invested that 1,000 shillings and which brought back 50. Then the 50 brought back then now they're in a good space. Just you made that, that
Not
state.
the 10 shillings toss.
So when you are giving this whole thing, when you sit down and think about it, it's actually about giving. God has given you an opportunity to work, so that you can be a blessing to the nations. That is where it comes from. It's not so that I go to work to ICRW. She works at Mavuno, get the money, then we buy our own things and spend on ourselves. When say he tells us he's telling us love your neighbor as you love yourself, and so that's where it comes from. And when you give as a king, you give to the standard of who you are in God, who you are in Christ.
I like that.
Yes, you have an inheritance in God. You are a co-heir with Christ. Whatever you have inside you is so much more that when you give this person who is coming at your door, your door window, in a car, and you are the lights, and they're asking for a coin, and the Holy Spirit talks to you and give him 1,000. You see, or he tells you, don't give him money, go and buy them food. Then you go and buy them a very nice meal. Sit down, buy them a nice meal, talk to them. That alone, so that's where it comes from. Even creating wealth, having all this, this money, being rich and wealthy and stuff like that, is so that you give back. One of the things that actually I came to understand, I also had, there are some people in other religions, there are other religions which actually don't, if you realize, they probably may not be running out of money. They will not run out of money and they are rich soon. People, religions like Catholics, Catholics have a lot of money. They give back to community. If you go to my country, you go to every village has like a church. It has a school, hospital. They are giving back to the community. Somehow, there's an organization that's giving back to the orphanage. Then you talk about our friends, the Muslims. They never run out of money. They always giving, because giving is a principle. It's like gravity. It doesn't matter whether you are the president of the United States or you are the poorest person in down I don't know where. If you go up the building and you are the president of the United States, to jump like what's that building, the icon of Kenya, Nairobi, KICC. And because I'm the president of the United States, I will not die. Gravity will not. You will die. Because it's a principle. It's a principle. It's the same thing with giving.
Yeah.
Give and it shall come back to you.
All right.
You know that scripture, really?
Yes.
So yeah. So that's where it comes from. We get it from that side. So just for us to, that's why we budget, for it. We have the percentage for it, so that we learn that even when we get to a point where God gives us, and we know we are going to get there, that kind abnormal kinds of money, the system already is set. 10%, 10%, the system is set. Probably by that time it will even increase. It has been increased, but the system is there.
All right.
The 10% for giving. So
you guys are well set.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt, and our time is really on the edge here. I want to pick maybe 2 or 3 questions from the people here, but maybe as you think about it, again, I'll bounce back to Richie and Vero. These guys have been here for years, and probably the Kiboys, I'm not too sure, and maybe Prudence. What's your wisdom on giving to in-laws here? Let's say, and this is typical. One side of the family, her people are the money bags, and my people are the Guinea. Those people, and we like to. For us, borrowing loans and so forth are not a problem, and so we find ourselves in this space. How can you be driving? How can you be this? And your people back here are still in Matambara na Matuta na Kadhalika, and they're living badly. How do you guys balance off in-laws and giving? I don't know. I'd like to hear also from some of these senior ones. If you've been married for maybe 10 years or 7 plus, would love to hear from you. Richie and Vero, sijui kama mmefika hapo. As you think about it, Martin Kiboy, if you're there, I know you.
Yeah. Yes, Pastor, about the dependents, the in-laws, and the money that we have.
And family as well. How do you manage that?
Yeah, how we manage our families is we make sure there's a certain percentage that we set on how we support the both families, and to make sure that we handling, because if we say that we look on one side, we'll just concentrate on one side, it will not cater well. But what we do, we set aside the percentage and know that this is the time to handle this, and we finish. Again, we do it as per the priority, how it comes.
Right.
But at the end of the day or at the end of the year, we must make sure that we have covered what was across our list. It doesn't matter at one time and what the projects are coming across, but we must make sure that we have covered the priorities, how we have arranged our lists, and the needs the way they are rising.
So the pressure is not from them. The pressure, it's more of you guys, how you planned it.
Yeah, the issue is we agree. We agree, all of us, on how we want to manage the issue. Right. And let's say, for example, it's from my family. Very well, my partner has to handle it to make it very clear and it's workable. That's what.
Wait. Did you just say if your family asks for money, it is your spouse that's addressing them and giving them? I really like that for accountability, so that they know it's your money, not your own money. I like that.
Actually, for us, I don't know how it worked that way, and we thank God because it came in, and that has been the procedure for us. We will handle the issue with them on a project that arises, and make sure the project is finished.
Man, please take that tip. If your people ask for too much money, tell your wife to be the one. You can imagine if your father gets money from your wife, hata kusumbua tena, never will they disturb you that they want money. But anyway, I think I like that. Yeah, that's
yeah,
some good
but also,
wisdom.
there could be, if I could add, There is also this aspect of maybe getting your siblings borrowing money.
Yes.
So what we do is that give what you are ready to lose.
Okay.
Because most of the time, money can be a source of conflict with your in-laws or outlaws.
Yeah.
So they're asking you for money. If somebody is asking you to lend, because they always come, lend me this and that.
Yeah.
So just give whatever that you're willing to lose, because most of the time they're not gonna pay you back.
That's true.
And because you don't want to cross the lines, so when you're giving it, give it. If they return back, you say okay. If
Be
they
grateful.
don't, then there'll be no bad feelings. Yeah. So give what you're willing to lose.
So give
And
what
that
you're
will
willing to
avoid-
lose.
Yeah, that will avoid all the conflict and let it be in an honest situation whereby if my brother comes, you know what the family happens, our culture in African setup.
Yeah.
Your brother or your sister will want to call you aside and ask for something, not knowing that you already have somebody on the table that it should be open on the table. Sometimes it happens like that.
Yes, yes.
So let it be open. Even if somebody is borrowing aside and you're on the table, yes, tell us, all of us, what you need.
Yeah.
Then you agree on what you want to give out so that you avoid all the blames or maybe you gave or what happened. So it's an honest. Now, when you are losing, the way my wife is explaining, when you lose it, you know very well, oh, so and so, 3,000 and okay, let us forget it. Now it's 6 months, he's not bringing it back. Let's forget about
So you
it.
don't even count it.
Yeah.
All right. I really like that wisdom. Something else that I may also add that I've also seen from my side is with in-laws and relatives, they never know who else has asked you, or they don't want to know. So they imagine they're the only ones who has come. And one of those things is someone will come and tell you their need and paint the others as though they're not giving. By the time they've come to you, they've asked uncle so-and-so, sister so-and-so on the same need. And usually it's very tricky. And so one of those things is to have, I think for me, is just to say, we will be giving centrally to, let's say if I give my dad, that takes care of my mom, that takes care of everything. Everything we give, and that's all that you can give in that kitty. And if you want any more reference, go to that kitty and we'll only respond when that kitty is finished. But giving, like I give to this one today, tomorrow to that one, and it becomes so difficult sometimes to manage the many demands because everyone is asking and they never tell each other that I'm asking so and so. So you find when you say no, someone thinks you're very stingy, but it's because you gave someone else, and that also puts us in a bad spot. All right. I don't know if Prudence or Mr. Kiboi would like to comment on this, but last question, as you also give in your comments or questions so that we can begin to wrap this up. Mr. Kiboi or Prudence or anyone here above 10 years, what's been your experience, especially with managing in-laws here? All right. Kiboi?
Yeah, I think I agree with Richie and Vero. I mean, we have to let it go and make a decision that whatever you're giving, it's a lose for you.
Right.
But again, what comes in as a control is you have, as a family, you make an agreement and make a provision where you are saying that as a family, we are giving a kitty to our parents, so that, and what you share to them is something that is agreeable between the two of you. But again, you give them openly without, giving the mother side and the father, ile unampatia kando. I mean, the kitty, let it be open to them, so that, but again, it's always good that you also do something reasonable within your limits, so that also don't overstretch. And it's good also to analyze some trends. A trend will help you plan in future. You realize things are changing. So based on the trends, you can make provisions based on your experiences in the past. So I think it's good. You as a family, put a kitty, provide a provision, be open to your family, to in-laws, whatever you are giving, and be willing to lose whatever you lose, and whatever you lose, don't have my feelings on it.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kiboy. Much wisdom. Ladies and gentlemen, good friends, unfortunately, we've run out of time. We will be carrying on some questions into some next sessions, but the next season we'll be talking about septic stuff in marriages, talk about divorce, drugs, and all those addictions. And we will be looking at that in the month of September. So that will be our next session. But some of the things you can begin to think about, we may defer some of these questions. We had a question on writing your will in case of death, writing your will and planning financially. That's quite a huge one. We will discover that. We'll talk more about that maybe a little later. But allow me to just thank the Kirabos. Let's appreciate them. Thank people, let's appreciate the Kirabos. So let's just put our hands together and appreciate them. It's not easy being on this spot, but thank you so much for sharing your time, your experience. My goodness, I've picked a lot of generosity and wealth creation from the two of you, and good principles to take away from there. But even as we appreciate you, just closing remarks real quickly, and then we'll tell us how we can move on from here as we close this. And please, with your closing remarks, tell us if you have any resources or tools that we can access more of what you've just shared today, so that we know how to pick up from this, and even possibly your numbers as well.
I will start. A scripture that is in 2 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 8, that talks about, and God is able to make all grace abound towards you, that you, always having all sufficiency in all things, may have an abundancy of every good work. Whatever it is that you'd like to do, whatever it is God is calling you to do, He's provided. Be it knowledge, be it partners, be it space, He's already provided in sufficiently, more than what you'll even need. So you just need to step into that space and start. Don't be afraid, God is with you. And don't second guess yourself. Wealth creation is possible. Wherever you are at, even if you're in debt, you can come out of it. You can even, you're able to earn over and above, and you will leave an inheritance for your children's children if you continue working diligently, a day at a time. And then the other thing is, remember to celebrate. Whatever debt you pay off, go out with your wife and, give yourself that happy meal, like 1 down, 2 to go. And once they're all done, then you go for that holiday. Because also when
holiday.
Yeah, because you might be focusing, we need to clear this debt, and then forgetting to celebrate the simple steps that you're making together. Yeah, that would be my.
Yeah, thank you very much for giving us time to to share with you what we've learned. We really are honored to be sharing with you guys, and we don't take that for granted. Yeah, and we are really looking forward to seeing progress in our lives, and all of us, and yeah, so yeah, so please feel free to in case you need anything from us, resources. There's the book Straightforward Financial Growth. It's a very good book. There's a book called The Blessed Life by Robert Morris. Blessed Life. But then there's the Secrets of a Millionaire Mind.
Yes, I have The Blessed Life.
That one, yes.
I have that one.
Very good book. Yeah. Secrets of a Millionaire Mind. It will change the way you think about money, and it's really T. Harv Eker. You will really it will really help you. It is helping us. Keep listening to it. And also, the thing is, even as you go on this journey, of wealth creation. It starts the way he explained in the video. Where it starts from is acquire knowledge. So read books, because this knowledge wasn't given to us when we were in school. They don't teach you how to manage money in school. Probably they will teach you how to spend it. But they don't teach you how to manage, save and all that. No, someone will just tell you save. Yeah, it's good to save, but then what? But yeah, so yeah, acquire knowledge. Those 5 things that he talked about. The first one is really, really important, even as you go on the journey. Read books so that you keep growing, you keep investing in yourself, and it's very important, because if you don't invest in yourself, well, you still stay in the same, same curve. So thank you very much.
Yeah, then we also do a mastermind of straightforward financial growth in case you would like to be in that space, because it's one of the spaces that has really helped us and change the way we think about money. There is my number. You could reach out.
All right, 0705-879609. Get that number. Sign yourself up for the mastermind class. Thank you again for taking your time this evening and just sharing with us your wisdom. And thank you, Vero and Richie, for responding impromptu and allowing us into, and everyone else who's contributed into this discussion. Thank you so much for blessing us with your wisdom. We trust this has been helpful to you in one way or another. We believe it with all our hearts that God wants to use you to do something big and amazing to change the world. On behalf of the leadership team, thank you so much for being here. We meet again in the first Tuesday of September when we begin a new series, Septic Stuff. Please tell a friend to tell a friend. Let us know how we can also be part of, helping you, or if you have any thoughts that you'd like us to discuss, send that in. We have a WhatsApp group. Get in there, and that's where we keep the stories going, all the materials. We'll have also a link posted for this video in that space. Otherwise, thank you so much for being here. It's been real. Please appreciate yourself so much. 22 camera tuone kuhusu dakika moja. We just know who was behind those screens. Good to see you, Dennis and Valentine. Thank you so much. Good to see you, Robert. Thank you so much for being there. Good to see you, Dan and Rachel. Awesome, guys. Stephanie, good to see you. Martin Kiboy, good to see your face. Harriet, oh, good to see you guys. Look, I should take a picture now. Like, how do you capture these faces? You have been caught on screen print. I think it works that way. Good to see you, Mishek. Awesome. Hey, all right, so watu wako kwa mood ile ya jioni hivi naona. Kelly Kendo enda ushuke nywele, but good to see you. Maggie Kuma. Stephanie, so that's where you are. Good to see you. Good to see you, Cyrus King. Where mremba kwa happy Cyrus. Good to see you. Good to see you. Ati anaenda happy kupika. Judy, good to see you. Judy, you're back there. Washa camera tukuone. Eunice Ndekwa. Where's Harris? Harriet akwapi? Mama kanisa akwapi? Good to see you guys. Thank you so much. Just go on our Facebook page. You'll see all these things there. Go on our WhatsApp group. You'll see all these things. Good night, everyone. Feel free to leave. I'll be left with the Kirabos and the leaders. Please go ahead and leave now. Thank you so much for being here. Good night, everyone.
Good night. Bye.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye.
All right. Good night, Richie and Vero. Asanteni sana. Harriet, I know you don't want to leave. You can stay if you want. Judy,
Good night.
good night. Eunice, this picture is classic. Eunice, ajaongea leo. Yuko? Is she here? All right. Let me stop record, people. There you go.